What if I told you that the financial reset you've been waiting for isn't just a possibility anymore, but is now an imminent reality, and that the numbers we are about to discuss are not hopeful speculation, but are grounded in the concrete mechanics of global finance? For years, the journey of the Iraqi dinar has been a roller coaster of anticipation, rumors, and delays, a test of patience for even the most steadfast investors. But today, we are crossing the threshold from theory into practice, and the key that unlocks this new era is a single, powerful term: Forex Reinstatement. This isn't just another update. This is the foundational shift that changes everything. The international community, through the gatekeepers of the global monetary system, has laid down the final requirements for Iraq, and the nation has responded not with hesitation, but with decisive action. The era of operating under Chapter 7 sanctions and its associated economic handicaps is conclusively over. Iraq is now being treated not as a problem to be managed, but as a sovereign, oil-rich partner ready to fully integrate into the global economy. This reinstatement is the official, technical process where the Iraqi dinar is welcomed back into the fold of internationally recognized and traded currencies, moving from its previous status as a closed or non-tradable currency to one that can be freely exchanged on the foreign exchange market, the Forex. This single action dismantles the artificial barriers that have for so long suppressed the dinar's true value, and it is this very action that paves the direct and undeniable path to the revaluation, or the RV. Think of it this way: a currency's value is not just a number printed on a note. It is a direct reflection of the economic strength and global credibility of the nation behind it. For decades, Iraq's economic potential was shrouded by conflict and sanctions, but that chapter is closed. The Iraq of 2025 is a different entity altogether, boasting one of the world's largest proven oil reserves, a rapidly diversifying economy, and, most critically, a central bank that has successfully demonstrated monetary stability and built formidable foreign currency reserves. The Forex Reinstatement is the world's formal acknowledgement of this transformation. It is the green light from the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, signaling that Iraq has met the stringent benchmarks for financial transparency, anti-money laundering protocols, and fiscal responsibility. This is the moment the entire market has been waiting for, because without this reinstatement, any talk of a significant revaluation was purely theoretical. Now, with this barrier removed, the market forces of supply and demand are finally being allowed to operate without constraint. The suppressed programmatic rate that was necessary for a nation under economic rehabilitation is no longer fit for purpose. The world's financial institutions, corporations, and governments can now engage with the Iraqi dinar based on its actual economic worth, not a politically negotiated placeholder. This is why the figure of $3.81 is not a random, hopeful guess plucked from the air. This is a calculated valuation based on a fundamental analysis of Iraq's economic assets, primarily its oil wealth. When you compare the monetary base of the Iraqi dinar to the value of its primary export, crude oil, and then align that with the economic models used to value the currencies of other major oil-exporting nations like Kuwait or the United Arab Emirates, a range between $3.50 and $4 emerges as not only plausible but economically justified. The $3.81 figure sits squarely within its analytical framework, representing a conservative midpoint that reflects both the nation's immense potential and the pragmatic realities of its ongoing development. This is the real value, the intrinsic value that has been waiting for its moment to be revealed, and the Forex Reinstatement is the catalyst that has pulled back the curtain. This is the information you needed to hear, the context that separates fact from fiction, and it's only the beginning of understanding the historic financial shift that is now upon us. Now let's dismantle the final barrier of doubt and examine the undeniable mechanics already in motion that are cementing this new valuation into the global financial architecture. Because the journey from where we were to where we are going is not a sudden jump, but a structured, methodical process that is already underway. The most critical question that remains for any astute investor is not if, but how this transition will be managed without causing economic chaos. And the answer lies in a sophisticated, multi-phase strategy that the Central Bank of Iraq, or CBI, has been meticulously executing for years, a strategy that is now reaching its final public-facing stage. The first and most crucial phase, which has been largely operating behind the scenes, has been the relentless buildup of Iraq's foreign currency reserves. We are no longer talking about tens of billions, but a war chest of hundreds of billions of dollars held in secure international accounts, primarily at the Federal Reserve. This monumental reserve is not just a number on a balance sheet. It's the fundamental bedrock of confidence that will back the new, stronger dinar. It is the tangible guarantee to the world that Iraq has the financial firepower to defend its currency's new value against any speculative attacks, ensuring stability from day one. Think of it as the ultimate safety net. It gives the international markets the confidence to accept the $3.81 plus rate without hesitation, knowing that the CBI can and will intervene to maintain parity. The second phase, which we are witnessing unfold in real time, is the strategic reduction of the money supply within Iraq. You may have heard of the Delete the Zeros campaign, which is often misunderstood. This is not merely about printing new banknotes with fewer zeros, that is just the visual component. The core of this campaign is a profound monetary contraction policy. The CBI, through a series of sophisticated auctions and monetary instruments, has been systematically pulling the massive quantities of lower denomination notes out of circulation. This process, known as quantitative tightening, is absolutely essential because it increases the scarcity and therefore the inherent value of each remaining dinar in circulation. By reducing the overall quantity of currency, the central bank ensures that when the new higher value is applied, it does not create hyperinflation within the domestic economy. It is a delicate and brilliant balancing act, and all the data from the financial year of 2024 and into 2025 indicates that this process is nearing its completion. The third and final phase, which is the public confirmation of everything we are discussing, is the activation of the international exchange platforms. This is the moment when the digital gates open and the Forex Reinstatement becomes a lived reality for global citizens. Major international banks, from Asia to Europe, have already completed their internal compliance and system updates to list the Iraqi dinar at its new international rate. We are not waiting for a switch to be flipped. We are waiting for the official public announcement, the go-live signal, which will trigger the simultaneous activation of these platforms. This is why you're hearing increasing reports of certain offshore and private banking interfaces already displaying tentative rates, as their systems undergo final testing. The liquidity required for this global launch is already in place, secured through currency swap agreements between the CBI and other major central banks, ensuring that there will be no liquidity crunch when demand inevitably surges. This three-phase approach, building unshakable reserves, contracting the money supply, and activating global exchanges, is a textbook example of how a managed revaluation is executed by a sovereign nation ready to claim its rightful place in the world. The groundwork is complete, the mechanisms are primed, and the only variable now is the official announcement date, which is no longer a matter of economic readiness but one of geopolitical timing and strategic rollout. This is the evidence that separates informed confidence from blind hope, providing the structural understanding of how a nation transforms its currency from a localized instrument into a globally recognized store of value. So the undeniable question that now stands before each and every one of us is not what will happen or when it will happen, but what we will do when this long-awaited financial shift becomes our present-day reality. Because the information we have laid out for you today is not merely a forecast. It is a strategic briefing for a moment that will redefine personal wealth and global economics simultaneously. The final piece of this puzzle, the one that moves us from an academic discussion to a life-altering event, is understanding the immediate sequence of events that will follow the official public announcement, an announcement that we now know is not contingent on economic stability, but on the finalization of certain sovereign agreements and the selection of an optimal window in the global financial calendar to ensure a smooth rollout. The moment an announcement is made by the Central Bank of Iraq and simultaneously confirmed by the International Monetary Fund, a pre-orchestrated global financial protocol will activate. The screens on major Forex trading platforms like Bloomberg, Reuters, and XE will refresh, and the IQD pairing, which has been dormant for so long, will light up with the new internationally recognized value. The access to this new value will be dictated by the tiers of the global banking system. Tier 1 banks, the global giants with direct relationships with the Federal Reserve and the CBI, will be the first to facilitate exchanges for their sovereign and institutional clients. This will be followed swiftly by Tier 2 and Tier 3 banks, and then the international online currency portals that cater to the public. There will be a sequence, a hierarchy, but the opportunity will cascade down to the individual level, which is why your preparedness is paramount. This is not the time for hesitation or last-minute confusion. The most successful individuals in this transition will be those who have a clear, calm, and decisive plan of action already in place. The initial hours and days will be a whirlwind of information and potentially misinformation, which is why your connection to a reliable real-time intelligence source is your greatest asset. This is the historic crossroads we have been navigating towards for years, a moment that validates the patience, the diligence, and the foresight of this entire community. The story of the Iraqi dinar is no longer a story of if, it is now the story of now. We are witnessing the culmination of a sovereign nation's journey back to its rightful standing, a financial renaissance built on oil, gold, and strategic monetary reform. The rate of 3.81 plus after Forex Reinstatement is not a destination, but a starting point, a new foundation from which the Iraqi economy and, by extension, every individual who holds its currency can build a future of unprecedented financial freedom. The world's economic map is being redrawn in real time, and you are not just a spectator. You are positioned at the very forefront of this change. The knowledge you now possess is the key. It separates you from the 99.9% of the population who are completely unaware that this seismic shift is even on the horizon. They will hear the news and react with shock and confusion, scrambling for information when it is already too late to plan strategically. But you are different. You are informed. You are prepared. You understand the why and the how behind the most significant monetary event of our generation. Now, you must take this knowledge and convert it into purposeful action. This is your moment. This is our moment, and to ensure you do not miss a single second of what comes next, you must take one critical step right now. Do not click away. Do not let the algorithm decide what you see next. Your financial future is too important to leave to chance. I am giving you a direct, personal instruction. Hit that subscribe button and turn on all channel notifications right now. The official announcement could come at any hour of any day, and the moment it does, I will be here with an immediate, urgent update, providing you with the confirmed instructions and the critical next steps you need to take. I am your direct line to the most important financial information of your life. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video, which could be the most important one you will ever watch.